Hola, mi gente, Mikey. Oh, how about that countdown, huh?
That was beautiful.
Huh?
Fancy,
Qué
fancy.
fancy, huh?
I thought it was New Year's again.
Ya tú sabes. That was fancy. That was a fancy countdown. Happy New Year, everybody.
Yeah.
Mikey O here, Anthony Fuentes, our special guest, Ruthie Maldonado Delwich. Happy New Year. We are here. It is the new year. We are going to die from being frozen. Um, so, Happy New Year, everybody. How
Happy
are
New
you?
Year.
Happy New Year.
I'm glad we're all here. Thank you so much to Anthony and Ruthie for being with me. I'm excited. 2024. Now, I'm one of these people that I just have to tell you, I did not have a bad 2023. And I'm not even talking about financially or health wise. Overall, I had a pretty decent 2023
Mm-hmm.
and 2024. So far, it's off to a good start. I mean, we're, what are we, 15 days in? And para allá vamos. Here we go. Here we go. So, Ruthie Maldonado Delwich, I'm excited that you're on this live today. For those of you who don't know, I can't remember, and I don't want to put a time to it, but I can't remember a time when we were doing shows in Chicago, Latino comedy in Chicago, and Ruthie Maldonado Delwich was not a supporter. Her and her entire family. When Ruthie came to a show, she came to a show 10, 12, 15 people deep. She not only supported my shows, she supported Vince Acevedo shows, Alex Ortiz shows, Ellie Castro shows, Patty Vasquez shows. She supported Las Comadres of Comedy. She has been a supporter of all of us. And let me tell you that we could always count on her for being at the show. We can always count on her for spreading the word about our shows. So if you're Latino in Chicago doing comedy and you've been doing it for a while, then you know exactly who she is. And so we're excited to now have you on our stage, our stream stage, if you will,
Nice.
and excited to have you here. So Ruthie, gracias.
Thank you, Mikey, for inviting me. Exciting.
And
Hi, Ruthie.
Hey, Anthony.
I love Ruthie.
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
I
we
do.
absolutely all do.
I met Ruthie the first time at your show. I remember I performed there, and after the show, we do our meet and greet. She came
Yeah.
up to me, gave me a hug. She said, "You're very funny. Lose some weight." And I said, "You got it, Ruthie."
I did not.
Nah, she did
I
it. She
did
did
not.
it. She did it. But she did say, she said, "You know what? You're very funny." And since then, she's always liked my posts, always shared, and she is a pillar of the comedy community for all Latinos. I really do appreciate you, Ruthie, and all you do for us.
Yeah,
And supporting us.
absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm going to tell you, there are a couple of people like you, Ruthie, and that have supported the shows from the beginning. And it's interesting because I have a massive file. Maybe I've got 10,000 pictures of shows, and I would say that you are in a lot of those pictures, and how grateful really we are, because we know, if we glanced over at your table and you were having a ball, we knew that we were doing okay. And when we started doing comedy in Chicago, when I started doing shows here, uh, we didn't know we were okay. We
Yeah.
took the risk of putting the shows on stage because nobody was putting Latinos on stage. And I want to say this clearly because I want to make sure that it doesn't misconstrued. When we started doing shows in Chicago, they weren't putting up Latino comedians at Zanies.
Mm-mm.
They were
Exactly.
not. And they were not putting up Latino comedians when the Improv first opened. They were not. Um, Curtis from the Laugh Factory immediately started putting Latino comedians up. But every now and then, Zanies would put one on a Tuesday or on a Sunday. When Fluffy stopped doing, a lot of people don't remember this, when Fluffy stopped doing Zanies because of the situation he had with the radio host, that was the end of Latino comedy at Zanies. But even then, it was only when Fluffy came in. And then the Improv every now and then. So we were the ones doing it. We had no idea what we were doing on the business side. They
Yeah.
gave me this big stage, and thank God for people like you Ruthie, who helped us at that time get the word out and fill it.
Well, Mikey, I tell you what, I used to bring Poppy to the shows.
Mm.
Poppy loved your shows. And I know you heard of, because even when you used to be in that church on Ogden,
Yeah,
Poppy was always there with us, and you'd hear his laugh radiating through
absolutely.
the hall. So, yes,
Yeah, I remember that.
endless.
I
Yeah.
remember your dad so well. And I also remember how unbelievably loved and how unbelievably important you were to him. That I remember, you know. He
Yes.
still treated you like his little girl. And
Yes.
my favorite of your family is always your sister. That's my
Shut up,
favorite.
Mikey.
I love
Anthony, I
her.
love you, Anthony. I love you, Anthony.
I love you more, Ruthie.
Yeah.
You're number one. You're my favorite. I don't know what
Thank
Mikey's
you.
talking about.
Thank you.
You're my favorite. Vita, he always takes it too far.
Yes, he
So
does.
yeah, one thing that's happening is that the San Juan 5K,
Yes.
which Ruthie, I don't know if you remember when the San Juan 5K, the original years ago in Humboldt Park,
Yes.
and then it went away because of different scandals, this, that, the other,
Yeah.
went away, and now the girls bought it back last year. I helped them bring it back. We reactivated it per se, and it
Hmm.
was successful. We had 300-400 runners, right? But this year we're gonna do more. It was the first time we did it, and it was a fantastic time. Well, it's back, and it's going to happen on Father's Day 2024 again.
Hmm.
And my understanding is that a certain someone uh, uh, is training for it. And who would that be?
That
Oh,
is I. I am
Anthony.
he. I am the he that he's talking about. I've
Praise
been working out.
God.
I'm
Nice.
down. Mira, I've been training hard. I took out I only have arroz con gandule once a week, not every day. And chuletas, I only put a little bit of adobo. I don't put a lot on Mondays. Every other day I put a lot, but I'm down from 335 pounds to 260 pounds. And I'm gonna be in the
Congratulations.
5K run.
Wait,
I
give me
don't
those
even know
numbers again. Give me those numbers again.
from 335 pounds down to 260.
Wow.
Yeah. Um,
300.
yeah.
Congratulations.
What can I
70
say?
pounds.
Drugs do a lot. No, I'm just kidding. Not drugs.
Wow.
It was all hard work and dedication. And
Wow.
yeah. And I'm gonna be in the 5K. I am announcing it right here, right now. Chicago. I love you, Chicago. You are my home.
Praise
I
God.
love Humboldt
Nice.
Park. From Lily's Record Shop to La Sandwiche. I love Humboldt Park. I love Chicago. And I'm gonna be in the 5K. I
Wow.
didn't realize what 5K meant when Mikey told me about it, and I said yes right away. I thought he meant like 5 Kedzie Street or something. I was like, oh, he's talking about 5. We're gonna run to Kedzie. I get it. Then I realized 5K means kilometers. So I'm gonna really have to train because I thought I was running a block. I did not
Well,
know.
but you know what, man? The fact that you've lost, how many pounds have you lost?
Let's see,
70.
35, 25, 70 pounds.
That's a big deal.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I can see my feet, bro. You know how long it's been? I was like, oh my God, I gotta cut my toenails. You know, I cortado en 3 años.
70, Anthony.
I had daggers.
70 pounds. You basically lost like a 9-year-old. You know what
I
I
did.
mean? That's crazy, man. So
I lost
congratulations.
I
Yeah.
lost like a 9-year-old, and I lost my 9-year-old. I lost him at the store when I was buying protein powder. Mira, se fue. I lost him. And then, but no, I feel a lot better. I feel awake, energized, and I'm just getting started. This is just the beginning. I've been going to the gym, documenting my weight loss to inspire others
Yeah.
so that they know that it doesn't matter how big we get. The same way we got big, the same way we can lose it.
Awesome.
Now, what are the struggles? Now, this is a serious question.
Yeah.
What are some of the struggles that you encounter with the Puerto Rican diet? Serious question. And weight loss. I mean, have you had to push that to the side because Papa arroz
Mhm.
and arroz and
So-
arroz and arroz?
Yeah. So I started off with just watermelon. There's 80 calories in a watermelon. It's a lot of water that you're eating. It fills you up. It speeds up your metabolic rate. Good for your blood pressure. So I would eat that till I got full. Then when I would eat my portions of food, by the time I got to it, I was so full off of the watermelon that I was like, oh, I could barely even eat food. And then I realized that was causing me to burn weight, to burn calories. And as time went on, I continued. Now I started mixing in the gym. I mean, are they everyday perfect? No. And I try to tell people that you're gonna fail sometimes, you're gonna fall sometimes. The same way you fall, pick yourself back up, Don't let it beat you up. Go back to the gym tomorrow, start all over, and hit it harder. That's it. So that's where I'm at. And I'm going to run the 5K. I'm not going to walk it. I'm going to run it. Because you know what? I'm a veteran from Army. I know Ruthie's a veteran. I know you are too, Mikey. And I'm running this for all my brothers and sisters in arms. I'm going to draw. I'm not running full speed, tate quieto, because I'm not Ruthie. Ruthie can run it. Mira, I see with her eyes closed, hand tied behind. She'll do jumping jacks while running it at the same time. Me, I'm going to jog. But I'm going to jog the entire 5K. I'm going to do it.
So, you know, Anthony, it's interesting that we got Ruthie on this with us today because in addition to being an incredible, Ruthie, for those of you who don't know, is a United States Air Force veteran. Yep. She then went on to work for the United States Railroad and retired from there. Of course, a huge supporter of the Latino arts in Chicago, whether it's Latino theater, film, live music, and of course, comedy. But I don't think a week goes by that I don't see a post where she is either running or training for a race or promoting a race. And when I say a race, of course, I'm talking about 5K and 10K and etc. You know, so Ruthie, tell us about your running. How did you get into running? Have you always been a runner?
I was a runner. I really started when I was going into the Air Force. I used to run around Harrison Park in Pilsen because that's where I grew up. And that's why I trained. Then when I was stationed in Hawaii, I was running every single morning. I was stationed in Honolulu, Hawaii. Then when I came back from the Air Force in 88, I didn't really run till 2009 when my nephew invited me for a 5K. And I could barely run a 5K. I felt like I was struggling to finish a 5K. I walked most of it and thought, what the heck happened? Because it wasn't the weight. It was just I wasn't training. And then I started running. That's when I picked it up more often. And I was running more like 3 miles, maybe 4 miles, but very little bit. And then when Dan got sick, is when I started adding a lot more mileage because running became my therapy, more or less. And I ran my first half marathon the year he was diagnosed with cancer. Then after Dan earned his angel's wings, ran my first marathon at age 58 in 2017. And just this past November, I ran my 10th marathon, the New York Marathon.
Wow.
And, yeah. So I ran it again in his memory. But yeah. And the New York Marathon was out of this world. But that was my 10th marathon. And I've ran 73 half marathons.
Wow. That's incredible. That's crazy.
Yeah.
73 half marathons.
73 half marathons. I just ran one yesterday in Houston. I just ran the Houston half marathon. Yeah.
That's
Isn't
amazing.
it funny? Well, you know, yesterday I ran one in Houston. I had nothing to do. So
como si fuera nada. Yeah. What did you do yesterday?
Así, mira, yo cuando me da la gana, si estoy encerrada, me pongo a correr.
It's my therapy. It's my therapy. It really is.
¿Qué tú vas a hacer hoy? Nada, voy para Houston para coger 50 millas. Digo, te veo mañana.
Yeah, and let's reenact that for a minute, Anthony. Okay, I'm going to call you. You ready?
Yeah.
Anthony.
Dímelo.
What are you going to do today?
Nothing, just chilling. I figured, I think I might go to Houston, run 10 miles. I don't know. Yeah. I'll probably do it with my eyes closed and then come back home and run 50 more. I don't know. On the treadmill in the basement.
Right. Yo, do me a favor. Call me when you get back from that race, okay?
Okay, I'll call you in 15 minutes then. That's how long it takes me to run 10 miles, 15 minutes.
Okay, Ruthie, I'll talk to you later. Yeah.
Okay, bye. Vite.
That's crazy that you say it casually like that. I just ran a race yesterday. 78 half marathons.
Yeah.
Wow.
And where have you run in the world?
I ran Bermuda, Berlin, DC, because I ran the Marine Corps Marathon. Then I ran New York. I ran Nashville, Arizona, Pennsylvania, Salt Lake City, Puerto Rico.
Whip up.
Yeah. And these are our half marathons, because that's usually when I travel, it's usually for half marathons.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think of some of the other ones, because I got my little calendar, so I'm scratching them all. Tennessee, Texas, of course, Florida, quite a few.
Wow, that's unbelievable.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's unbelievable. So
I'm gonna go. I'm on a mission to run in all 50 states. I have
Yeah.
to run the half marathon in 50 states.
At your rate, you have ran
I'm
to
getting
all
there.
50 states. You understand? Like you have ran the equivalency
yeah,
of
Yeah.
the United
Equivalent,
States.
but it's because I go to a lot of repeat ones because I enjoy them. So
that is unbelievable. I'm gonna share something to you about me and my history with marathons. Okay.
okay,
No, you got to listen to this. I have an unbelievable history with marathons. Okay.
okay,
Number one is for over 10 years, I was the host of Carrera de los Muertos. I believe 12 years total, Carrera de los Muertos. The
okay.
Blue Island, in Blue Island, there used to be a hospital. I believe it was called, I can't remember the name of it. It might have been St. Margaret's or something. But I don't remember. I was the MC and the host for that marathon. Edwards Hospital in Elmhurst, the MC for that marathon. Good Samaritan Hospital, College of DuPage, and the very first or the most right before the marathon closed down, I was the MC for the San Juan 5K.
Wow.
And then now the thing again. What's funny is that I have never run a marathon. I have never run and when I say marathons, I'm sorry, I'm using that word way too casually. I'm talking about I emceed all of those 5Ks.
Yeah.
And the funny thing about it is I've never run one. I've never run
What
one.
the heck?
Yeah, I always tell people when they see me, "Are you running?" Yeah, my mouth. I mean, because I'm the MC, but I've never. Isn't that crazy? And I always get a phone call. Can you MC? Evanston last year called me, and I couldn't do it because of scheduling reasons. But I always get the phone call. Hey, we're looking for an MC for the for the race. I just never do it. Somebody wrote here, are you speaking of Metro South? No, it used to be another name before it was Metro South. It had another name, and I can't remember the name. But thank you, Renee. It's not Metro South. Before Metro South, it had another name. Can't remember. But anyway, yeah. So
I've seen you while I've been running a few times, Mike, and I always try to drag you with me, and you
Yes,
look
you
at
do.
me like you don't know me.
Yes,
And
you
are,
do.
no,
No,
He
I don't
ignores
run.
you.
And
No.
He
No.
looks the other way. You're like, Mike.
yes,
Mike.
yes.
See,
Yeah.
you ran in Houston yesterday, and
Yes.
Mikey ran errands. That's what he ran. That's the
No,
No,
only
he
thing
went to a
does.
restaurant. He found
He
another
ran to the
restaurant.
restaurant. Yeah.
But I mean, I'm tell you what, I'm so impressed by that, Ruthie.
Wow.
I won't ask ever, and I'm not going to ask your age. But here's what I want.
I
you to know.
turned 65 crossing that finish line in New York.
Wow.
Let's go.
Yes. I'll say it. It was
And
my
that's why she looks like
65th
she's
birthday,
30.
Mikey.
Oh,
It was on my
God.
65th birthday.
Wow.
So yeah.
Mikey,
God,
what did you do for your birthday?
on my birthday?
Yeah, your last birthday.
On my birthday last
I went to
year,
McDonald's.
Yeah, I think basically I'm pretty sure I was eating, and I'm pretty sure I was drinking. Now, I'm going to
That's
tell
amazing,
you, I got to tell you, I really do applaud that. That is
Yeah.
unbelievable. So
That
so
is.
Ruthie, so my question to you today is, you got a guy like Anthony Fuentes who's never run a 5K,
Mhm.
and I told Anthony last year, if you run it, I'll run it. He didn't run it, so I didn't run it. Now I'm gonna have to run it because he's running it.
I'm
and
running it.
I cannot look bad, right? So
Right.
I told Anthony, I'm gonna run it with you. Two guys who never run a 5K before. Okay, give us the bottom line on some tips and some advice.
Especially since you haven't ran. And Anthony, you keep saying it, and I'm gonna run it. I'm not gonna walk. I'm gonna run it. You start with walk for 5 minutes. Do a 1 minute run. Walk for 90 seconds. Run for 20 minutes. Do that. And then the next week, add a little more of the running, but do the walking too. Run and walk, run and walk.
As my training.
Slowly you reduce the amount of time you are walking and you can continue just running. But if you've never ran and you try to do it in one shot, you're going to feel discouraged. You're going to feel like you're out of breath.
Fall apart.
So
now,
start
question
with the
for
walk.
You. Ruthie, question. Now, if I'm walking and I decide to hop in an Uber, does that count as part of my workout?
No.
Damn. Then I got to go back to the gym tomorrow. I thought I've been doing Uber rides all week. I'm like, chacho, yo estaba andando toda la semana. I was walking all week.
No, I know. But you got to, because a lot of people think, no, you've got to run. You're not a runner. But no, you can walk and run. As a matter of fact, there's a run method called the Jeff Galloway, and it's run, walk. You know,
we're going to create a new running method, and it's going to be called the Ruthie Maldonado, the which way to run.
Yeah.
That's how it is.
I swear to God. Hey, I will meet you guys if you want to be out there. I will personally.
I'm going.
Out there
I'm going.
And train with you.
Mira, I'm ready. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do the 5K. I've been training.
You can do it, Anthony.
I started in the Army. I used to run 10 miles a day every day when I was in the Army.
Anthony,
that's true story.
I don't know if you know this, Anthony. The girls that work for me, Jackie, Blanca, and Norma, are runners. And sometimes after, like, we'll do a show on a Saturday, they got to race the next morning, and I'm like, how do they do that?
What?
You know? Yeah. So our Jackie, Norma, yeah, Norma.
Wow,
we got to buy her a sun lamp.
Yeah,
she is an amazing runner, and So
Blanca, when I ran my first half marathon, was so ecstatic because she was there and with me with my first half marathon and my first marathon. My son ran it with me, the first marathon, and Blanca came and took a picture with us because she was running too.
Oh, that's all. I wonder if Blanca, do you still have that picture? If you're there, Blanca.
So Jesse Daniel Padilla says learning how to breathe is important.
Oh, yes, definitely.
I know how to breathe. Mira, I'm breathing right now. We've been breathing this whole time.
Well, I think you're talking about...
Mira, learning how to breathe is important because if you can't breathe, you're dead. That's not good exercise in school. I don't know. Kind of exercise. Yeah, you have to breathe. You can't not breathe. I'm morir. Mira que breathe. You know what else is important? Waking up in the morning. If you don't wake up, te moriste. But no, you're right. I'm just kidding, Jesse. That is very true. I know breathing is very important when you're running. Breathe into the nose, release to the mouth. That's very important.
Yes.
Well, let me ask you, Ruthie, real quick. When you talk about learning how to breathe is important, what is that technique?
Well, typically, depending on the people and different people, you said it right. In and out. But like when I start struggling, when I was doing the marathon Chicago this time, from the beginning, I had told my son, papi, I feel like I can't breathe. My breathing is off. And I kept trying to catch it, but it's because I was getting sick because right after the marathon, I ended up with bronchitis where I was sick. But it's just with me, it's in 1, 2, 3, out 1, 2, in 1, 2, 3, out 1, 2, because you don't want to. And it's not so much, Anthony, you're not, consistent. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. You don't want to keep taking off on the same foot.
Yeah.
It helps you. And you know what? I do the military where I start left, right, left.
Left, right, left. Yep. I do that in my mind.
And that helps too.
Ruthie, I love.
Inhale, exhale slowly. Inhale, exhale slowly.
I love that you just said that like it was nothing. She said, I just ran a marathon. The first one I ran. The first marathon she ran, finished. She's upset because she couldn't breathe because she had bronchitis. Mira, if I wake up,
more recent. That was the marathon in October, the Chicago marathon.
Oh, okay. And you still ran it with bronchitis.
Yeah. Afterwards, I ended up sick, and that's why I was struggling.
I sneezed the other day and I had to call off work for 2 days. I stayed in the bed. I was like, I can't move. Me duele la espalda y todo. I sneezed my back out. I can't go. That's impressive, Ruthie. Wow.
Yeah,
But breathing, I like that.
Yeah.
The military,
that
left, right,
is
left.
that is incredibly impressive. 78 half marathons that she has run. For those of you who are just like starting to watch right now, Ruthie is a Air Force veteran, and then a veteran of the U.S. railroad system, and then of course, a huge fan and a veteran of sitting in our audiences for the last 20 years that we're incredibly grateful to her for. So, to change the subject just for a couple of minutes, we got about 7-8 minutes left. I want to just change the subject. There's no school tomorrow. Today, I don't really count it as there was no school because today was, of course, the Honorable Martin Luther King's Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday, and so there was no school because of that acknowledgement. But tomorrow there's no school because, of course, it is cold, and I don't know how you guys feel about this because one of the things is you always hear people our generation talking about the fact that they never closed when we were kids. They just never ever closed.
Exactly.
They never closed. And the funny thing is that the way I look at that, it's not that they never closed, is that we are so far ahead with technology, with city services, with with ways to stay warm. We're just so far ahead, and somehow or another, that was it. The schools closed, and a school closing back in the day, that building had to explode, catch fire, or something, because that building was not closing, and you were gonna be there, and it's just the way it was.
Yep.
Yes.
I'm still gonna send my kids to school. I'm gonna make them stand out there for at least 25 minutes.
Yeah,
I'll
that's
stay
what
parked
say.
in front.
Anyway,
Yeah, you gotta at least do 25 minutes. I did 7 years in schools and high school. I dropped out. I got GED. So I did 7 years.
Yeah.
And in Frio, you're gonna do 25 minutes. You gotta do at least 20, 25.
But it is when you think about it, because even with snowstorms, we were walking through the snow to school. Yeah.
Yo le digo a los nenes, if Ruthie can run a marathon con bronchitis, you can stand outside for 25 minutes.
Oh my God. Let me tell you the typical scenario in my house when so here's the deal. We would put on everything. I mean, it was long johns on top of jeans, on top of another pair of jeans, on top of, and that's it. And I'll never forget this because coming home was like, it was like a big deal to come in that house and begin to take all that stuff off. And the minute, again, this is the way I grew up. The minute you would start to take that jacket off, you would smell those chuletas, habichuela guisada, that arroz. My mother would be making those tostones, right? Those tostones would be rocking, right? Or carne beef, or whatever, or pollo guisado, whatever. But that meal that was waiting for you, you know what I mean? Made freezing your tush off 100% worth it. Big, tall glass of Tang. You know what I mean? And by the way, that meal I just described, we were poor. Somehow or another, but freezing your butt off and coming home to that meal made it all worth it. Or be that day. You took that clothes off because you knew it was about to go down. And then what happened, Anthony? Come on, let's see if we remember. Then what happened? I Dream of Jeannie, followed by Gilligan's Island, followed by Hogan's Heroes. Homer Pyle. Come on.
Hey, y'all.
Bewitched. Remember that?
Yeah.
Right around 6 o'clock, your mother would gangster the TV for the novelas.
Yeah.
And there was no more TV.
That was it.
I could say honestly, I didn't watch TV from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. for 20, I mean, that's, I don't know, from the age of 4 to the age of 12, I didn't watch TV for 8 years between those times. Because now,
novelas.
And now the big thing now is that, kids are not gonna, kids are gonna freeze. They're gonna freeze. We have to close the schools. And I think we're just pampering not the kids. We're pampering the parents. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna complain. I'll admit it. I don't have to get up tomorrow 6:00 in the morning to get those little punks ready. So if I ain't gotta get those little punks ready, that's fine by me. Y'all go ahead, take that day off. I'm still gonna make you stand outside of school for 25 minutes though. I remember it used to be so cold. Remember your hands would itch when you would come
Yes.
inside the house
Oh,
and
they
put
would
them under hot
hurt.
water. They would hurt.
Yeah.
My son looked at snow the other day. He's like, "Oh my God, I'm not going outside." I almost wanted to throw him out there. Just go, have fun, fall down, make a snowman, go sledding, do something nice. Kids, you look outside, it's a ghost town. We as kids, I remember we used to get on the sleds. We used to grab trash can lids. Yo, vámonos, nos fuimos. Sledding time. Here we go.
Oh,
come back
God.
out. Scraped
best,
up.
Man.
Yeah.
You guys remember sketching?
What was that? Sketchy? No.
Sketching? You guys never sketch? Come on.
No, that's a game
You're
from
a viewer
1908,
right now.
Mikey.
The first viewer that can tell me what sketching was back in the day. I'm gonna let somebody put it. If you can tell me what sketching was back in the day, you are gonna win tickets.
That's the game Mikey used to play in 1907. Mira, 1920.
Wait, I'm older than Mikey, so I would know.
Come on, man. Nobody remembers sketching. I mean, you remember sketching?
I know about snitching. I don't snitch. I know that.
Bro, I'm gonna tell you something right now. You guys are not true. Sketching, sliding from a bumper. That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Who got it right?
Exactly right. There you go.
Cassandra.
Inbox me for tickets to let's see here. Just inbox me for tickets. I'll give you tickets to whatever you want.
Cassandra, Cassandra.
Right.
You clearly grew up poor like Mikey.
Car skiing, hanging from the bump onto the bumper of the car. Sandra Gamino, inbox me immediately. Sandra and Sandra and Cassandra. That's a weird pair of winners. All right, beautiful. Inbox me, ladies. We'll make sure you get some tickets to something. Yeah. So Anthony, a car would come by. You'd sneak up behind the car, you'd grab onto the bumper and ride all the way down the block.
Yeah, see, we didn't do that as kids. If we snuck up behind the car, it was either to steal the radio out of it or just because they left the door open. We were taking I'm going to get on the bumper and hold like this. I say that. Nah, I'm okay. That's fine. I know why they call it stitching because you end up with stitches after that. Mira,
that's exactly right. David Lopez says, Anthony, Brooklyn was never this cold.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. I was just talking to somebody about that because they said, "Oh, what's the weather in New York's probably cold too." I said, "I bet you it's not. Right now it's in the 30s." I'm like, "That's summer right now compared to out here." Yeah. New York gets cold. We get some snow, but it's never this cold. It will get some cold though. We've gotten big snowstorms in the past, nothing like Chicago snowstorms. Yeah. But going back to what you were talking about the novelas, that just brought back memories. My grandma, that's how I was when I would be with her in the summers in Puerto Rico. From 7 to 9 p.m., I would be outside because I'm not watching TV. All you would hear from every house, because in Puerto Rico, they have the shutters. There's no cortina, no windows. Yeah. Those are shutters. And you would hear, un carrusel de niño, from 7 o'clock hasta las 9 de la noche. And you would, I'm bored. By 9 o'clock, I was bored outside like this. Everybody's like, she's got one more novela left, and then I can go inside. That was, I remember, my grandma, God rest her soul, mira, la veía toda. She knew about every novela, every character, everybody. And my favorite show, you guys lived in Puerto Rico, you would visit a lot, correct? Mikey, you did? Yeah, did you visit often?
Yeah. We visited not often, but we
visited. So when I was a kid, I was just talking to my daughter about this the other day. My favorite memory was there was a show in Puerto Rico called Entrando por la Cocina. Do you guys remember that show?
I don't.
Con Guille. See, if y'all in the comments know what I'm talking about, please say something. It was called Entrando por la Cocina, and Guille would come in dancing. Búscalo, andaiga al mar. Ese es el punto. Llegó el gran Popeye. I used to love that show with my grandma every morning. It was like my show to watch.
Entrando por la Cocina.
Yes, Entrando por la Cocina.
Papa, that's how you ended up in the situation you're in now, okay? Entrando por la Cocina.
I know.
Okay. Listen, I'm not throwing shots and nothing, okay? That's how you got. You need to watch a show Salte de la cocina.
Saliendo por la cocina. Saliendo de la
That's the
cocina.
show.
Oh my
That's the show.
God.
That's the show you need to see, Papa.
You know what's funny? I'm laughing because that's so true. Because mira, Ruthie has a beautiful background with books. It looks like I'm about to watch a TV show about
Yeah.
Rainbow. Mike, you're behind you right now. You're Hollywood. You got the whole scenario behind you is blurred. You don't know what the pictures are. You're like, oh my God, it's mysterious. Me, I am in the kitchen on top of the dining room table. Ahora mismo. Tate quieto. If that ain't the most Puerto Rican right there, I don't know what to tell you.
Oh my God.
I don't know if he's still watching, but Jesse Daniel Padilla, we want to extend you a free registration, my friend. That's a $40 value. We want to extend you a free registration to
A hole of water.
San Juan 5K. Because the whole time I've been sitting here, I've been trying to figure out what the hell is a whole A of water.
He meant a lot.
A whole lot of water.
Yeah.
But his Jesse Padilla, this is serious. You are the winner of the registration, free registration to the San Juan 5K. The San Juan 5K this year, again, will feature some live music. It'll feature a lot of activities for the families at the boathouse. So remember, the race takes off. It comes up division, comes through the park, et cetera, and it ends up at the boathouse. And again, Jesse, inbox me. You, my friend, are going to get a free registration to the race.
Maybe he meant a measurement.
Vicky Rivera
like
says,
a hole of a water.
oh my God, I lived in PR for 13 years and I don't remember that show. Mama,
mira, Vicky, no. YouTube it. Entrando por la cocina.
Él, cuando vea, él estaba entrando por la cocina.
Era yo era Guille. Tonight, guys, I'm going to get it on YouTube and I'm going to post it on my Facebook. And I'm going to tag you in it, Mikey, so everybody can see it. I'll tag a clip. It was one of my favorite shows. He would come in. Ese es el punto. Unless you'll see. It was funny. It was edgy. It was like one of the first edgy shows in Puerto Rico, and it was during the daytime that they had the show every morning, Entrando por la Cocina, and I watched it with my grandmother.
Anyway, mi gente, Mikey O here. Thank you so much for hanging out with us for these 37 minutes. We're going to keep trying to do this every Monday. What we want you to know is a couple of things. Please, 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 if you have important community information that you need to get out to the community, inbox me, and I'll have you come on here on a Monday, talk about what's happening in the community. Community continues to be very important to us. So remember, please join me on a Monday night right here. Share your information about your health fairs, mental health programs, whatever you got. And again, we'll be here every Monday. But join us for some great conversation. Thank you so much to Ruthie. Ruthie,
thank you.
When is your next race?
In 2 weeks, I'm going to Miami. Just and because.
Mr. 305.
Miami half marathon.
Miami,
the last week in January.
Even the Cubans are going, coño.
Oye, socio. Oye, pero socio, esta mujer
corre.
Oye, diablo, esta mujer coño.
Anthony Fuentes, when's your next show, Papa?
Actually, this weekend I will be at the Lincoln Lodge Friday and Saturday. And Saturday at 11:30, I'll also be at Zany's. And then after that, I leave town. I'll be in Kansas and Missouri. And then guess where I'm going in February? Puerto Rico,
Beautiful.
Nice.
Yeah.
Mi gente, next Monday night, I hope to bring on to this show. I'm going to tell you this really, really quick before I go. I quit drinking. It has been 1 year. And
yay! Congratulations, Mike.
And thank you. I have not had a drink in a year after drinking for about 44 years. That's not a joke. I started drinking when I was about 15 years old. So 43 years of drinking. And I quit drinking, and I keep getting this question from people: why did you stop? How did you stop? Did you go to AA? Did you go to treatment? None of that. I just stopped. Now, I've learned some things since I stopped. And so next week, what I hope to do is bring on a couple of comedians from the sober community. But also I want to hear from some people from the non-comedy community, people who've quit drinking and whatever. The benefits of quitting drinking are different for everybody. What happened with me was very simple. I did dry January. That turned into February, March, April, May, et cetera.
Wow,
and
that's awesome, bro.
A couple of things that happened is, number one is I lost an incredible amount of weight. When I say an incredible amount of weight, not 79 pounds like Anthony.
7.
But for a guy like me, losing 23, 24 pounds was quite a bit. The second thing that happened is my sleep is amazing, and my energy level is through the roof. And more importantly, haven't seen a blood pressure over 120/70 in 9 months.
Wow, that's
Nice.
awesome, man.
No medication, no nothing. Blood pressure every single day. Got a full physical. The doctor says I am incredibly healthy, and which probably means I'm going to drop dead any day now. Anyway,
No.
that usually what happens. Pero ¿qué le pasó a Michael Kendo? He was so
Le
healthy.
pegó una guagua.
Pero estaba tan healthy.
You know, the cemetery is full of healthy people. Anyway,
Yeah.
but anyway, mi gente, next week
good.
I want to talk a little bit about that. There's a little bit of a taboo when you tell people you quit drinking. It's always the same 3 questions. Mijo, ¿tú tienes diabetes? Mijo, are you going through a divorce? Mijo, are you depressed? And then the 4th one, mijo, did you get a DUI? Those are the questions you ask whenever you tell people you're not drinking.
Yep.
So if you want to talk about that next week with us,
Nice.
contact me. I'd love to have you on. I'm going to have some resources. But again, we're going to have some more fun because we're not going to have any of these lives without members of the comedy community. Mi gente, I'm Mikey O. That's Ruthie Delwich. That's Anthony Fuentes. Thank you guys so much for listening.
Thank
if
you
you
so
won
much.
tonight, inbox me to make sure you get your tickets. Ruthie, we love you. The
Love you, Ruthie.
comedy community loves you, Ruthie. Gracias.
Thank you.
Gracias, Ruthie.
Love you. Love you guys. Bye-bye. Have a good night.
Bye-bye.